I tell my clients
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
through and through. I'm like, it is more cost effective for you to retain a client, for your client to send more dream clients your way than for you to constantly be on the go, looking for your new clients. So having the systems in place is going to help you do that client experience.
Welcome to the Life Coach Baker podcast. I'm Nicole Baker, life coach for perfectionists who want to set goals and actually follow through with them. I went to my first personal development seminar at the age of 1. Yes, I was quite literally born into this industry. But by 15, I started to implement this mindset mumbo jumbo I'd heard so much about, and it worked. As a recovering perfectionist myself, I've been able to set goals that are way out of my comfort zone and achieve them by doing things imperfectly, without self-judgment, and without the fear of their opinions. And now I help others to do the same. So if you are capital D done feeling like a hostage to this a-hole called perfectionism, then this show is for you. My goal is for you to leave each episode with tactical action steps that you can start to implement in your life now. I may be in my 20s. I may have the voice of a sassier Cinderella, but I've been doing this personal development-ish since I was a toddler. So let's dive in.
What is up, my sweet, beautiful friends? Welcome back to another episode of the Life Coach Baker podcast. Today, we have not one, not two, but 3 incredible guests. And I say that so genuinely. These women have become not only best friends of mine, best business friends, but also just confidants, inspirations, learning mentors, and so much more. And I have been in cahoots with them since I think almost June or July. I can't remember which day, or which month, but we started way back when, brainstorming together, what can we do about this issue? And we're going to talk about this issue a lot on the episode, but this issue behind, there's a lot of new and intermediate entrepreneurs out there that feel like they're flailing, that feel like they are screaming into the void, that feel like they don't know how to spend their time, that feel like they're screaming at the heavens, being like, why isn't this working? They're comparing themselves to other people on social media. They have this overwhelm and they don't really know what to do and how to make things clear. And so the 4 of us sat down and just went like, we all have the knowledge, the expertise. We were all there. And we all have built ourselves to this incredible level of clarity, incredible level of confidence and certainty and excitement for our business. And we all coach people individually and in small groups on this level, but we wanted to do a full-blown live event to give you all the tools, to give you all the energy, the power, the step-by-steps on how to take your business from feeling like it's flailing to feeling like it's overwhelming, to feeling like it's not where you want to be, no matter how hard you try, to having that clarity, to having that confidence, to being an in-demand person in this industry. Because it's possible. It is right on the precipice. And we all just went into crazy passion-driven mode. And it's been inspiring. I don't really know how else to say it. It's been inspiring to see us all 4 come together and really create something that, in my incredibly biased opinion, but I've heard this from other people too who are not me, something that is unbelievably needed and unbelievably rare in this world. And so we created this live virtual event that's going to be happening on November 4th. The tickets for our waitlist have started to release this week. That means if you're on the waitlist, you can now purchase a ticket. And if you want to purchase a ticket and you want to purchase it for 50% off, because I don't know about you, that is really helpful when you're in the beginning of a business, saving that money. You can join the waitlist and immediately buy a ticket as well. So it is not only for like this exclusive waitlist people who have been happening behind the scenes. It is for if you want to join the waitlist and immediately purchase a ticket, you can have that too. But we'll talk about that a lot on the episode. But to be honest, I wanted to have these 3 ladies on to just pull back the curtain to talk about themselves and their business, and to really show you all that it is not all fairy lights, that it is not all unicorns and butterflies, but you have the knowledge, you have the tools. It is right here. You just need to reach out and take it. So I'm going to stop talking and bring to the stage these incredible women, Amber, Wendy, and Sabrina. I've definitely never interviewed 3 people at once before, so this is going to be a fun test today for this girl's podcasting skills.
You're great. You got this.
Welcome. Well, you've been on this show before. You're a seasoned professional. Welcome to the podcast, Sabrina, Wendy, and Amber.
Hello.
I want to go ahead and just do a little round robin. Who are we? What do we do? And then also so people can kind of get to know our voices a little bit more. You know, when you hear a podcast with multiple voices and you're like, who just said that? So Sabrina, how about you? Kick us off.
Hey, my name is Sabrina Aveyan, and I'm a systems strategist for coaches and online service providers. So basically, I take a look at how you're doing what you're doing, and I create a more seamless system that gets your time back.
Which all of us need more time back. There's too much working.
Preach.
Wendy, kick us off next.
Hey everyone, my name is Wendy Ramirez, and I am the founder of Lovingly Bold, where we focus on creating marketing strategies for you to be able to grow your visibility and convert more clients while also growing your business. So,
yes, Amber.
Hello, everyone. So happy to be here with these incredible ladies. I'm Amber Alexis. I am a wealth manifestation and business mentor. Where I really focus on is sales and helping my clients understand how to build true soulful sales strategies so that they can consistently bring in clients every single month and have stacked bank accounts.
Yes. And in case this is your first time listening to the Life Coach Baker podcast, my name is Nicole Baker. I am the CEO of Life Coach Baker. I am a coach for perfectionists, helping high achievers ditch that hustle lifestyle and starting to have more fun and fulfillment because, you know, it's important. So I want this episode really to be like a peek behind the curtain. A lot of times, and I think the 4 of us have definitely talked about this before, we see online people crushing it. And we just assume, you know, that's how they are always, or they've always been that way. And I almost want to do a peek behind the curtain into how you started your business. What was it like when you started your business? No holds barred.
Oh,
let's kick it off. I'll go a little different order. I got to keep you guys on your toes. Wendy, how about you go?
Yeah, so I started my business back in 2019, and initially I had started as a very side hustle social media management manager for hotels, and I was working full-time at Sephora. Loved both of them, but was looking for new opportunities when some obstacles arised within the workforce. And so at that point, I decided to quit cold turkey and go all in on my business. You know, I was very privileged to have a very supportive husband who to this day supports all my crazy ideas and ambitions. And so I had that privilege of the support, but that time really allowed me to go all in on my business. Started off as an Instagram coach because that platform was something that I really enjoyed. But what I learned in the process is that when you focus on what brings you joy, the process and the journey becomes something that it doesn't even feel like work at that point. And so if I had one piece of advice for someone that was getting in the journey of starting their business and they're comparing themselves to others, is that you're only seeing what you're seeing now. You don't see everything that led up to that moment. The nights where maybe you stayed up until 3 a.m. finishing up a sales page. That was me. The moments that you spent, you know, trying to build your brand, your essence, you know, trying to fine tune the things. And so I always say that when comparison creeps up, just remember that you're seeing maybe 1% of what people want to put out there.
Well, and I want to open this up to everyone. Why do you guys think that, especially at the beginning of businesses, we tend to not have joy and fun at the forefront? I don't know about you guys. That was back of the bus in my life, or back caboose train. Yeah. Why do you guys think that is?
I think we're just trying to get out of our current lifestyles and into the next vision. Mm-hmm. So I think we're just like, and we're taught from our current lifestyle. A lot of us come from the 9-to-5 or just like that grind that we're just like, oh, we just have to like grind it out. So when you're new, that's your whole mentality and you're just doing your best to just create your new life. So you're just like, I don't have time for fun. Fun doesn't exist in my vocabulary. I have time to grind, make money, and change my life. And that's it. And then it's not until you actually learn over time that you get to have a lot of fun. And that's when you actually make the most money.
Yeah. I think for me,
go for it, Frida.
I think there's a couple, for me, it's like two things that go into that. One, there's that whole fake it till you make it or fake it till you become it, right? You're just like trying to figure out what works. You're trying the different things. You're just like, okay. And like imposter syndrome is just like sizzling underneath a little bit, right? And it's really hard to show up and be really joyful when you're trying to do something that like someone told you to do or that you think you're supposed to be doing rather than really just showing up in the way that you are. And then another thing for me is kind of like art, or I would imagine it's the same thing with like writing, where you kind of have to know the rules to break the rules too. And for me, it's like learning all the things and then I can go in and I can play and I can have fun with it. But first I want to understand the mechanics of it before I can get in and get really creative.
Because I feel like if you don't, you're just like grasping at straws and then grasp at straws enough and you start to tell yourself, well, this isn't working. I'm screaming. I hear so often the phrase, I'm screaming into the void and no one's listening. We all just nodded. We're like, yeah, we've all been there. Like, right. You know, like, I think that there's so much of that. You just have to already know everything. And we forget we're allowed to be beginners at things. But Wendy, what were you going to say?
Well, to kind of piggyback off that, I feel like a lot of times as early stage entrepreneurs, we put, a lot of people on pedestals and we don't realize what got them there, or like the team behind these individuals, how many times they had to fail to get to where they're at. And because we put these individuals on pedestals, we feel like it's the one way or the highway, or that's the exact same way that you need to take action. When in reality, business is something that's going to continue to be a journey, no matter whether you're just starting out or seasoned. And it's about the journey of finding what feels authentically good to you. And your number one asset that you need to protect on this journey is that mindset, because that's what's going to keep you going through and through.
I actually saw a coach recently that I kind of look up to. I think she just signed like 15 people into her new mastermind, and she posted something about how her very first group launch, she only sold one spot and it was to her husband. And it did make me feel a little, I was like, man, she is like selling out her group programs now, but there was a time when she first launched this baby and her husband was the only one that bought. And so I really respected that she was putting that out there also, and just being really honest, because I feel like that's another thing that's like, there's like this level of, oh, I don't want people to know where it all began. Like, I want everyone to think that this is just kind of where it's been, because it builds more trust, or like more authority. But I think that's a big difference. Like, where we're coming from is so much of the things that we learned in our businesses and that we learned through helping other people with their businesses, and being super transparent with those struggles, and that like even having successful businesses, that we were there and we struggle with the same things, and most people do.
This might be a fun exercise. I want to go quick round robin. First launch, how'd it go? First launch. Everyone share their first launch. Amber, how about you?
I sold 2 spots in my first launch.
Wendy?
4.
Sabrina?
I don't launch. I think that's the difference. Like, I don't launch. I work like one-on-one with people. So
that's super fair.
I don't have a number.
I sold 1, my very first one, and it was to a sorority sister.
Hey,
good times. I want to go back to origin stories though. Sabrina, do you mind sharing yours?
Yeah. So I started in 2018, and I was working kind of from home, but with 2 kids for the catering company that I had been with for a long time. And I started out, I bought like a $500 course to be a VA. And just kind of did that on my own behind the scenes, not assuming that I would ever work with a coach. Like that was never in my realm of like, I've always been like, I can figure it out kind of person. And I've always been really successful in getting it done on my own. I actually didn't even think that getting support in this way, besides getting the course and doing it on my own, was an option. And then I like picked up, I don't know, like a sales call script, and it was from a coach, and I ended up going through her entire product suite, realizing that like, holy smokes, I don't have to just do VA tasks for people. Like I can get support and niche down and really do things that bring me joy. The joy part came later, right? Because then I got into marketing. I was like, oh, I do social media, I do email. And so I'm going to kind of focus on that. But it was not something that brought me joy. Again, it was just like things that I was good at. And every time I started working with clients, like I said, one-to-one, even if we were doing their marketing, even if it was emails, it would always come back to like, y'all, this isn't efficient. Y'all, this isn't efficient. Like I tell this story pretty often as a VI, and even as an OBM. I would be working with someone and a client would say, hey, can you do this? Or because this is not a task I like doing. I really don't want to. And that's typically what you hand over to your VA, right? And I was the VA of like, I don't want to do this either. Let's figure out how to get it done a smarter way. Like neither of us have to do this actually. And so I started realizing that I would end up working myself out of a job just by creating more efficient systems in people's business. And so it wasn't, and that brings me joy, like the problem solving, like the satisfaction of building something that can run on its own, like seeing relief and actually people falling back in love with their business because it's not so taxing on them again. Those kind of things. I was like, holy smokes, I really like get off on this. This brings me joy. This is what I'm really going to focus on. And so then I pivoted into working in really short bursts with people because I also am a sprinter. I'm not a marathon runner. And so I like shorter projects where we like really focus on different aspects of the back end of your business. And then you're off and running and I'm off and running to the next problem to solve.
Yeah. Have you always been a very like left brain thinker person?
I actually was an art major.
What?
Yeah, y'all.
No way.
Y'all should see my paintings.
How
like
does that compute?
Art. Yeah, isn't that wild? I think that's
so cool.
The creative part of the problem solving. But I didn't bring on a single client until I already had my CRM built out. Like I'm very organized, like I have a shirt that says lady in the streets, but a freak in the spreadsheets.
Oh my God.
Wait, did you like make that? Because that's like
no,
so good.
My sister-in-law found it online and like sent it to me, and I lost it when I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so me. I built spreadsheets for like everybody. But no, I don't know. I've always had both of those things, and it's been kind of hard to blend them together. But I think that what I do now does that pretty effectively. But yeah, it's hard to turn that left brain off sometimes, for sure.
And by the way, if anyone listening doesn't know some of the acronyms you just said, sign up for the Empowered Entrepreneur. That is that is what we're going over. It's not like a, glossary lesson, but like, I think a lot of times people don't understand how important the back end is because no one talks about it on social media. Everyone's just like, here's the sexy thing. I made a $10,000 lunch or $100,000 or whatever. But without those backend systems, I remember before I had any in place and I felt like I was drowning. It was horrible. Like, you feel like
don't have the freedom.
You don't have the freedom. I always felt like I was dropping the ball because someone would be like, sign up. And I'd be like, oh, let me send this thing over to you without knowing what automation was, and I think like that is so important if you're wanting to build a business for freedom, which I don't know a single entrepreneur who's like, I built my business so I can work 24/7. Like that stupid TikTok viral sound. What?
Oh, is that a viral sound?
It was like I quit my 9 to 5 so I can work 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
I I don't use this word. I hate that. I don't use this word and I hate that. Like I've seen it on mugs and on shirts and stuff. And it
give her the soapbox.
Like
the soapbox.
I literally have that in my Instagram bio, disrupting the belief that working for yourself is 24/7.
Oh,
because
hell yeah.
That drives me insane. And I feel like a lot of people, that's why systems are really hard for me. Like it takes me a lot to really convince people like, no, you need this because their business is quote unquote working, right? Like I work a lot with like 6-figure business owners who are 6 figures. So to that, it means it's working and their VAs doing all this stuff and they're doing all this stuff and they don't realize like not having ease in your business is a big sign that it's not working, you know?
And why do you think it's so important, especially like at the beginning or even like the intermediate levels, to set this up from the get-go and not wait until you're 2,000 or 200,000 plus?
Can I riff on that for you, Sabrina? Because here's why I think what Sabrina's going to be teaching is so important. Client experience. I tell my clients,
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Through and through, I'm like, it is more cost effective for you to retain a client, for your client to send more dream clients your way than for you to constantly be on the go, looking for your new clients. So having the systems in place is going to help you do that. Client experience. Done.
Period.
If anyone's not watching on YouTube, all of us just like in tandem, just like we're nodding our heads, yes.
I'll tell you something. Client retention. It was 2020 had a really hard year, and because of client retention, I was still able to pretty much hit like 6 figures without like getting a new client.
That is incredible.
That was through client retention only. Like. I didn't like ever through client referrals. Like that was it.
That's systems are such a massive part of client retention and client experience for like so many different reasons. But I was on a summit one time and they asked me, what's the best way to get ideal clients? And I was like, exceeding the expectation of your current ideal client. Like I have...
Sabrina, I want to quote you so much right now. I'm just like putting these on my notes.
I want this on a mug. Screw the working nut.
I want Sabrina's quotes on a mug. I want it on my t-shirt.
Yes.
Do it. Let's do it. Let's make Empowered Entrepreneur merch, y'all.
Oh my God.
Done. I'm literally writing this down. I'm not even lying.
I have one client who sent me over $10,000 of like referrals in 2 months. Just from one client referral. Like not one client referral, but one referring client, right? Like she just is constantly talking about what I do and how it impacted her business and her experience.
Love that.
No, me too. Me too. And like having those systems in place, because here's the thing, like you're getting into business doing what you're doing because you're good at it, because you find joy in it, because you have a passion for it. But this is how I like to put it. There's your marketing island where your leads live, and there is your service island where your clients live. And you cannot charge people high ticket and be like paddling over from lead island to client island on a nasty old raft, right? If I'm investing in something and you're like having all this crazy stuff in between on my onboarding, I'm like, did I just make the right choice?
Yeah.
But if you're picking me up in a yacht and I've got champagne and I've got like a charcuterie board on the way to becoming a client, ma'am, I'm in. Like I'm in. And then you nail the service on that end. Like that's where it's at. That's where you're going to be. And then you can charge more just by having that elevated experience with the same service transformation. I just got a message yesterday from a client who's like, guess what? Raising my prices only because we created systems that felt good for her client. She's not changing anything about her group program.
Oh my course.
So,
wow.
But I was like, but you gotta get them. You gotta get them to Lead Island. Through your marketing, through like the, like your email, your mindset, your strategy, right? Your email marketing like approach. So it doesn't just all hinder on your systems, because you got to get them in somehow, right?
Yeah.
I literally feel like I just went to church. That was like such a good 5 minutes of just like
Sabrina church,
yes, absolutely. Amber, I'd love to hear your origin story.
Okay, yeah, let me just like calm down right quick because that was so good. I was so pumped about these systems.
Yeah. Pumped.
Okay, calming down. All right. So my origin story. I started also in 2018. And let's see. I guess I started before 2018. I was freelancing and doing marketing and stuff for like startups. And, you know, my background is in marketing. I've worked with like multi-million-dollar brands, like as like, you know, when you come out of college, all that stuff. So I did start before then, but then in 2018, after I had done a bit of traveling, I came back to the States because I was really much in the state of like, okay, traveling was cool, but it was kind of unfulfilling. I know that sounds like, people don't talk about that when you just they paint this picture of like travel vibes and all this, and it is amazing. And like, don't get me wrong, like beautiful people, beautiful countries. But when you're not really doing more to serve, I feel like the collective and the world, there is a void. And I think I was like, when I came back home to the States, that was the big reason, because I felt like that was cool. My manifestations came through, like it was so powerful, but I felt like I wasn't doing enough for the world, and I wasn't doing enough for like my peeps, my humans. And I was like, I need to create something that's really going to help them expand. And that's kind of where marketing came in, or the marketing coaching came in. I didn't even know coaching was a thing. I found it through like an ad, and I was like, oh, because I thought it was on like freelancing and stuff. And then someone's like, become a coach and blah, blah, blah. I was like, what's that? I was like, what is coaching? I was like, oh, it's like freelancing, but it's so much more personal. It's so much more deeper. And I feel like I'm also very spiritual. So I was like, oh, you can go into like so much more depth in coaching. And that's kind of what kind of started me in the coaching realm. And I fell in love with creating people's businesses, helping them, you know, market. Like I love the content aspect of things. I love helping people really be of service. But I realized I started gravitating towards sales. It just happened. Like all of a sudden my clients like were just started talking to me more and more about sales. And I was just like crushing it with them. And I was like, I really helped them understand sales, which is a big part of entrepreneurs' fears. They really fear sales. And I feel like I just didn't fear sales ever, because I grew up with, my father was a sales like guru person, like constant. I've seen that man do so many sales at all times. So I feel like sales was always natural to me. And then before I knew it, they were like constantly just asking me more and more and more about sales. So I created systems to really help them establish what sales look like in their business, in their lives. And that's how I started becoming more into sales. And of course we have the energetic parts that I've always integrated in the business part.
Well, I'm curious, why do you think, I know Wendy and I probably have our own, and Sabrina, we all probably have our own little thoughts on that. Why do entrepreneurs fear sales at the beginning so much?
They're so fearful of it. I feel like, you know, what I've noticed, it's mainly because they feel like they're not, there's two reasons. One, they feel like they're not worthy of asking for money. Like they're not worthy of being paid. Like it is it's like shameful at some point, like in the beginning specifically. It's like, oh my God, how dare I? Like, oh, I can't cross that boundary. They asked me for advice. I shouldn't ask them to get on a call. Like that's crazy. Like, so I feel like the worthiness, like they feel like really, really shameful. Like they constantly need to be giving and not receiving, right? And then the second thing is really understanding that our society has told us that sales is bad, like constantly promoting yourself is bad. It's so salesy, it's gross, like, and that sales has a bad rep. It has like a really, really bad rep. And honestly, it's not that bad when you understand that when you're selling from service, it helps you not only change your life, but change your community's life. And when you don't sell, like, it really is a dishonor. That's how I see sales now. So I was like, wait, they're going to just stay stuck for another 5 years? Like, because that's what's going to happen if you just don't sell. And then that's kind of what happens. And I feel like we all have a duty to like activate others. And if you don't sell, you're not activating them. And if they're not activated, they can activate other people. And then you're doing a whole more than 100 people a disservice just because you're not selling your offer. You know, that's kind of how I see it. But I do think it's just those two main things, not worthy, and society's really demonized sales.
Yeah.
I love that you said activate others. I love that. I've never heard that, but I like believe that. Even though I've never heard it before. I'm like, I love that. I think that I I think historically salespeople have been like, you think of like car salesmen and you think of people who are coming to your door. And, I think historically sales have been like a pushy thing to really self-serve the salesperson. And it's so different now. And sales, especially in our industry, sales is more about awareness and problem solving. But we all start out with that mentality of like, oh, sales is icky, like this is, but just because it's also benefiting you does not mean it's not massively benefiting the other person.
Yeah. I think I forget, or at least I forgot at the beginning. I don't know if forgot's the right word. I was so icked out by sales. So anytime I got to the point of the discovery call where it was like, okay, time to do the pitch. Like, I mean, I was sweating. I would stammer. I would talk and like 1,000 miles a minute just to get past it as fast as possible. And it was all because I was only focused on me. And I can say that with so much hindsight and now being able to call myself out.
Yeah.
I was only focused on me closing like, maybe I can close this person, maybe I can go full time in my business. Maybe I can And it wasn't until I made the massive switch of like, what if this wasn't fucking about me? Like, what if this was entirely about them? The next time I gave my pitch, not only did they sign, I did it slower. I breathed more. I asked more questions. I was able to be present with them. And there was a massive difference. And by the way, that client and I kicked ass in those 6 months. We kicked ass. It was amazing. But you cannot make sales about you. It is about them.
It's detaching from that outcome. And that's like so hard. And I understand, like, that's why I really teach energetics with it, because it's just goes so hand in hand. When you detach from the outcome, you're going to make more money. You're going to make more sales. You're not going to overthink things. Like a lot of my clients, they pretty much are like sending me their DM conversations. They're like, how do I respond to this? And I'm like, okay, you're overthinking it. I was like, how would you respond to a friend? How would you respond to a friend with intention, right? Your intentionality. Like sales is all about intentionality and really giving the other person clarity and understanding that if they have clarity, they will be decisive enough to move forward with you. If they don't have clarity, they're probably going to say no, and that's like the job with sales. It doesn't have to be so complex. It's a conversation. It's connection. Like that is it. Like if you can bring that connection point and you don't have the attachment to it, you're going to close like this.
I also personally think that when you're starting out a business, sometimes people are scared of hearing no.
Oh, yeah.
And because they're scared of hearing no, it's safer for them to stay in their comfort zone than to step out of the uncomfort zone and have a meaningful communication with their ideal client. Yeah. And I say this because that was my story. Let me tell you, I could sell when I was working at Sephora, but when it came to my own business, when I was starting out, it felt so daunting because I was so fearful of hearing no.
Yeah.
I didn't have that same fear at Sephora because at the end of the day, I was making money for Sephora, but this is directly related to me. And so it was taking that step outside the uncomfort zone. And I know that Amber is going to empower you guys to step outside that comfort zone, in the empowered entrepreneur.
Well, and I also feel like I don't know about you guys, I've attended a lot of like free summits or stuff like that where sales is like one of the big parts of it. And it's this like, mid-age white dude up there just being like, you gotta sell, like going, and I'm just like, like, and it's all from this place of, you want a yacht, you want a luxury plane, you want to drink the nicest champagne with the most beautiful women in the world. It makes me ill, I hate it. And it's all about serve himself. And he's telling everyone in the audience, serve yourself. And don't get me wrong, when you make more sales, you have a higher level of income that serves you in a different way. But if you're hopping on a sales call for that luxury plane, like you're setting yourself up for just a monster of a time.
It's hard though. Like I wasn't so much scared of rejection, but I'll tell you, I had my first baby when I was on food stamps. Javi and I are in a completely different place in our life. Lord, right? Like thank the universe, thank like my hard work and hobbies hard work. But starting off and having that mentality of like, I need to make this sale, not because no would hurt my ego, but because no would impact my family.
Yeah.
And that's a much harder place to be able to release when you get on a sales call when you're first starting out, you are so stoked. Like it has to happen because this affects my family. Like if, I think I'm the only mom in this group. And so that perspective for me was really massive. And it's so hard to release the outcome when everyone's depending on you, right?
Yeah.
When you're depending on other people at the time to like help you out. So a lot of the mindset work, a lot of basically mindset, right, is really leaning into like believing in yourself, like releasing the outcome, understanding that you do have a lot to offer. This is not the last, do you really think that this is the last call you're ever going to get on? Even if it's the first call that you ever got on,
right?
You know, really trusting yourself at the end of the day. Like I can just get on the call with another person. What can I learn from this? No, but it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It is absolutely terrifying. But you do come to a place eventually where we're on this call and we're like, yeah, you have to like release the outcome. You got to be there to serve other people. But, a lot of the reasons I got into business was to serve myself and my family.
Yeah.
And realize later, like, wow, no, this is like really impacting my clients now that I found what I really love doing and what they really enjoy the transformation of. So I don't want to totally neglect the fact that like making those sales is really important. And you have that pressure that's even deeper than just, not saying that fear of rejection is not a deep thing, but
but family is way deeper.
Well, and if we're
way deeper,
if we're going, go for it.
Okay, I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna go. Yeah, but I was gonna say, yeah, absolutely. I feel like those external factors are really, really motivating, especially when you're a mom. I feel like that mama bear like energy is just, it's something that activates. And I do think that having that family pressure or anything like that is really important. But when you have that extra pressure, it's like learning, detachment from the outcome, but also learning a good sales strategy. You can go more into the tangible, which of course I'll be teaching in the Empowered Entrepreneur. So you want to join us because you do want to close those sales, and the mindset isn't there yet. It's okay. Let's work with the strategy first. And then we'll eventually get you to the mindset. And when you're in that mindset and detached, you're going to double your sales because you already have a good strategy at that point.
Well, and what did you say earlier, Sabrina? Like writing, once you know the framework, you can release and play.
Right.
Totally. I think it's the same thing here.
Yeah. And like early on, it was really the mindset work and like the energetics of like releasing fears that I had about not making the sale, but also understanding the strategy of like how to get on more sales calls, like how to have those calls with people, how to have the confidence, like how to communicate my offer, like so that they're making an informed decision where they know that it's benefiting them. And then like, y'all, my close rate is up there now because
queen.
Yeah. Yeah, sales calls are easy now.
And the beautiful thing is that everyone listening, you're getting 4 different perspectives, 4 different journeys. And that's the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship is that that's just what it is, right? And you're going to get that at the Empowered Entrepreneur. You're hearing 4 different sides here.
Yeah.
Imagine the power within that event.
I also want to go back to the fear of rejection thing, because if we're looking just neurologically and in the mind, fear of rejection, what does that mean then about you? Because it's not, oh no, I'm afraid I'm going to get rejected. It's, oh no, if I get rejected, I'm not enough and I'm not loved, which are our 2 core baseline fears. Yeah. Any limiting belief, it falls into one of those 2 categories. We just call them something different.
Right.
And we will do anything, literally make shit up, create excuses that don't make sense, but they seem very logical in the moment. Or, go crazy ham. We'll do insane things to avoid feeling those 2 things. And sometimes that means, you know what? I just shouldn't charge this person, or, oh, you know what? Like, I just don't need to know this. Like, so I can keep doing other things. And it just, and it goes back to also that like, it's working right now, so I don't have to change anything. There's just so much of entrepreneurship that I feel like lies in these two deep limiting beliefs, which is why I feel like it's so important to not just like, well, it's kind of working. I'm miserable. I'm on my way to burnout. I don't really know what I'm doing, but it's kind of working. Like, that is not sustainable. And you have to have the humility and the courage to learn from people who know what they're doing. And like we've said, like, these are experts in 4 different fields. And I'm tooting my own horn when I say that. Like,
hell yeah,
we've all been there and we've all gotten out of it. And you would literally attend this event and get 4 different incredibly niche perspectives on 4 different incredibly important areas of business that without these 4, you get back into that hustle and grind. And that's just not where we want to be.
Yeah. And in that VIP ticket that we have, we're going to give a, panel at the end of the event, just exclusive for our VIPs, to really go deep and experience these 4 different opinions regarding of what you're kind of going through, and also sharing our opinions when it comes to our businesses, social media, content, even further. So we obviously have the general admission. It's going to be super powerful. We're going to give you so much, but you want to go a little deeper, have a more intimate connection with all of us. That VIP ticket is going to be the way to go.
Yeah. Not only just the panel, but the opportunity to work with each of us individually. That VIP ticket gets you time with each of us working with you specifically on an aspect of your business, not just the panel itself, which is going to be awesome because it gives you a platform to ask us whatever questions you have, but also we're going to be sharing our behind the scenes of our business and a lot of the strategies, like specifically towards like content marketing and stuff that we use, right? Like I already said, I started on food stamps. Now I charge over $4,000 for like a day of working together. And that there's so much that goes with that. It's not just setting up the systems and having the service, right? Like I had to drop perfectionism at the door when I was selling really low ticket, when I was questioning whether I should even charge someone $230 a month for this XY thing, because it wasn't perfect. And there's just so much that goes into jumping from where all of us started to where all of us are now. And we're so down to share that with you.
If you've been listening to the show, or if you're just a living, breathing person in the 21st century, odds are that you're a perfectionist. But did you know that there are 3 different types of perfectionism? After working with perfectionists for the past 2 years and being one myself for longer than that, I would have to be an ostrich with my head stuck deep in the sand to not realize that there are different styles of perfectionism, each one with their own self-sabotaging patterns. To find out which perfectionist type you are, plus learn helpful next steps that will get you out of those patterns of self-destruction, take the free quiz by following the link in the show notes or by going to lifecoachbaker.com/quiz. Now, on to the episode.
I would love to actually go through, again, like a quick little round robin. What is something you would have told beginning entrepreneur you when you were first starting?
It's a good one.
Wendy, you look the most ready, so I'm going to go you first.
Yeah, I was like,
Amber and Sabrina were like, oh my gosh.
I'm not ready with that question.
Oh, I'm ready.
For me, it's always the resistance, because I feel like I was experiencing a lot of resistance that kept me from taking action. And what that did for me was it just kept me in the moment, unhappy that the growth, and it's still, I'm going to be honest, like resistance is one of the things that I still play around with, but now I have the tools and the knowledge to be able to, in a way, get me out of that box. But back then it was hard. I know it was really hard. So resistance for me, I'm like, let go, girl.
That's good. Sabrina, how about you?
I would whisper in my own ear all day for weeks on end. Take messy action. Take messy action. Take messy action. Because being a systems person and having all of my systems set up before, like most of them, right before I even brought on a single client, that's that fear of I need to nail this from the jump. which was important. It really helped me get more clients. Like that referral train started from the jump, but it also held me back from so much. And then once I heard that and really embraced it, I was like, oh, this can be fun. I just need to like do it. So take messy action.
Amber, how about you?
That's good. I would say twofold. I would say set boundaries from the beginning. Set boundaries, Amber. boundaries. Like very similar to Sabrina, but with boundaries. That was like, I think my hardest thing is like setting in all types of ways, working boundaries, like client boundaries, like all the boundaries, like, and it was getting to a point where anxiety was taking over because I just didn't have boundaries, So I would say boundaries for me were what I really wanted. And then also set up the systems, girl. Because from the beginning, because I do feel like not doing it early on is a mistake. Because you grow a lot quicker than you think. And I think
especially when your sales and your email marketing and your mindset are set up for success.
So especially as you're an empower entrepreneur, like
shameless plug, but I mean, like I truly believe every single thing I just said. Like I know that those three things, when those are set up, you will grow exponentially quickly, and you're going to want those systems in place. Sorry, ever continue.
No, I think those are the two things: set boundaries and set up the systems. I think those are like, if I could go back in time, like I would yell it to my face.
I just sent out an email to my list about how systems help with boundaries.
See?
Can you expand on that? I want people to understand why.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, having an automated process already protects your time. So you're setting a boundary around like how available you are from the jump. Secondly, having like a seamless client experience that really is clear on like when you're available and where to go, like what resources are available to them and like how to use them, are setting up the boundaries for not getting a DM with questions if that's not the space that your clients go to. Letting them know like Voxer is where we handle this things. Like if you have billing questions, then you email it to this, like all that information set up like through your client onboarding helps to build those boundaries around when you're available, when you can communicate, when you don't. It also sets the boundaries for like what's in this container and what is not in this container. All that can happen through the client onboarding in those automations, in those client touch points without you having to be like fully involved with that. So how
would you set up systems for like a product person? Like you don't have to go into super detail because I'm sure that's like a lot, but like for this exact thing, like if someone was a product owner, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I helped a girlfriend of mine. She's actually, let's throw her out there. Without Clay, she is going to be, she's one of the sponsors for the Empowered Entrepreneur, and we're going to be giving away three of her earrings. They're super gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
They're stunning. They're stunning.
So pretty.
Stunning. I want to put my name on there.
Me too. I want these giveaways.
There's so many of those things where I'm like, but I want it.
What if I just change my alias?
So yeah, basically what I did with her is we just went through all of her client touch points, whether it was like the like cart reminders, whether open cart reminders, whether it was just like the confirmation of her sales. A lot of times, because we're in Austin, it's a really big city, people like to come to her studio to pick stuff up. And so we had to really create a process and communication around when that's available, what times, like how to pick it up. And it seems really simple, but when you have people just like popping into your studio at any time or emailing you back questions like, hey, when is this going to happen? How am I going to do that? Like using those automations in product-based stuff is actually a lot easier because a lot of that is already integrated into Shopify, for example, right? Yeah. Those automations are already integrated, but you can go in and customize them to create clarity for your clients in so many different ways, like clarity around the product, right? She has really big earrings, but they're super light, and there's a specific way to like take care of them or not. And yeah, you can put that on a pamphlet when it gets to, like on a card when it gets to the person. But if they're already reading that on like their confirmation email, or like this is getting shipped and this is how to take care of it when it gets there, all of that communication can be done ahead of time, so you're not dealing with all the questions or the like not complaints, but like, yeah, hey, this happened to my jewelry, and it's like, well, you're not supposed to put it near nail polish or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
I was listening to a book recently, and he was saying how one of the chapters of it was talking about hey, thank you for purchasing this email, and they had just the standard copy and paste one that was like super whatever, and their sales were okay. But then he changed it to like, hey, thank you for fucking purchasing this. Like, it's been so great. Or like, I hope you have elephants and butterflies. He made it ridiculous. Like, I can't even do it justice. It was phenomenal writing in the most heinous way. Their sales went up by like 800%. Solely because of a thank you email that cursed like, and was just a monster. So it's like customizing those and making those to your business, I feel like are so important. Again, if we're going back to customer journey, I mean, like you want that to be memorable, and that's a memorable email,
Yeah. That's actually a lot of what I work on with my clients too, is there is a reason that someone is buying from you. And that reason is you. Like, there are marketing coaches out there are like mindset coaches out there, right? Like there are so many other people taking, someone from A to B, but it's like how they get there, right? And who they're joining, who they're going there with. And so you have to infuse your uniqueness, your you-ness throughout your entire process with your clients. Yeah. And that's essentially what they did, right? It's like you take that boring email and you really infuse your brand in there. You infuse your voice, you infuse yourself in it. And people are like, heck yes, this is what I signed up for. Give me more.
Exactly. I'll round this out before we do segments, because I know we're hitting our time. But if I were to go back and tell beginner entrepreneur Nicole one little thing, it would be ask for fucking help. Like, you do not have to do this alone. Your stupid pride, your Capricorn stupid pride is getting in your way. Stop trying to wear this like a badge of honor. Like, you get to, the second I reached out and hired a coach, I went full time in less than 6 months after almost a year and a half of like, I can do this. Like, like, and it just, I didn't know what I was working on. The second I started working with her, she like completely time smashed my time. Collapsed your time. Friday.
Collapsed your timeline.
Collapsed my timeline. Thank you. She just like, and she was like, focus on this. Stop focusing on this. This shit doesn't matter. And like, I know in my section of the Empowered Entrepreneur, we're going to be talking a lot about mindset. We're going to be talking a lot about the ins and outs of how mindset is actually tactical. A lot of people think it's very like ethereal and like intangible, and it's not. There's so much neuroscience behind it, and don't worry, I make it fun. But we're gonna really be talking about also spending your time wisely, because you cannot do these things that we're talking about if you keep flailing, if you keep spending your time doing a bunch of shit that doesn't really matter, but it's comfortable. You gotta do the scary shit. And we're going to dive into that in my section of like, what does that look like? But also having the confidence to know that you can tackle that scary shit and come out better and leave that perfectionism at the door.
Hell yeah.
I could talk to you guys for hours. And I have. I
could talk to you guys for hours too. I'm always like, oh, can we just stay longer? And
before we dive into segments, I do want to hit, right now, when this launches, it is going to be the week that the waitlist tickets open. Does someone mind talking about what that means? Don't all jump at once.
That means that you get first dibs on tickets, and you also get access to them at 50% off the public price.
Yeah.
You get the goods at half the price that everyone else would get access to them at.
Yeah, and for VIP, you get $200 off the wait list when you sign up for the wait list. So it's really, guys, when you see the value of that VIP, you're going to be like, this is a no brainer. And then on top of it, with the aspect of the $200 off from the wait list, you're going to be able to purchase, lock in your spot, and ensure that you are going to get the highest ROI for your time when you come into the Empowered Entrepreneur, because I've never seen an event where it's like 4 committed experts who are really ready to give you their all, no gatekeeping, none of that. We're so against that, and actually be of service for you. And the Empowered Entrepreneur is here to make that happen. And when you open and you pay for the wait list, or not pay, right? What do they do with the wait list?
They just sign up for the wait list.
Yeah. When you sign up for the wait list and you start really making moves, like you're going to start seeing, just through our emails alone, the value that we're giving.
Well, and I will say this, if you're listening to this and it's Thursday and we have already opened tickets, you can still get on the wait list and purchase a ticket while the waitlist tickets are open. So the waitlist pricing ends on the 24th of October. So you have from now until the 24th to sign up with still the waitlist pricing, which is at 50% off general admission and $200 off the VIP. And we want to say, like, before you're like, oh God, pricing, and we talk about, and everyone clams up, we have it listed on the website. Go look at it. We're very transparent. When we were sitting down to decide pricing, we said, how can we make this as affordable as possible for you guys? That was at the heart of what we were doing. And the most affordable way is obviously through the wait list. But that was really important to us. And we want to make sure that you guys get the most out of this event for sure. Let's close. Oh, by the way, you can get on the wait list and get all of that. Link in my bio. I'm on Instagram. You can access that wait list, sign up for the tickets. You can sign up for the tickets by hitting the link in the show notes or going to any of our social media profiles. All the links are also in the show notes to our social media profile. Can I speak?
It's late, girl.
It's late. I'm tired. I've cried twice today. That's a different podcast, but all of our social media profiles have the link as well. And you can just hit those. Again, link is in the show notes to all of ours, and we'll say them at the end. But let's close this out. I have 2 segment questions that I always ask everyone. And again, we'll kind of go round robin really quick. Number 1 is, what is a goal, big or small, that we can celebrate with you guys right now? Wendy, how about you kick it off?
A goal that I want to celebrate right now is that I ended the launch for my signature group program, Bold Business Academy. It's been rebranded. I'm so proud of how it went, and I'm just celebrating that.
Yay, celebrating you.
All right, so the goal that I'm celebrating is that I'm finally putting together a group program.
Yes! Oh, the world needs you. So many people need you. I'm so excited about this.
I'm really excited about it. I'm super excited about it. And I'm going to need everybody's help. I'm going to be watching the Empowered Entrepreneur at the same time I'm presenting, because this is new to me, right? It's going to be a new space, and I'm going to have to let go of perfectionism, and I have to learn how to lean into the manifestation part, and how to really make sure that my launch takes off, or it doesn't, right? Everyone starts somewhere, and get into filling out a whole funnel and email marketing. Anyway, yeah, I'm super excited, really excited about it, and stoked.
I'm so celebrating you. Oh, I'm so excited about this.
Amber, how about you? I love this. This makes me so happy.
I don't know. I'm celebrating. What am I celebrating? A lot of things. I think there's a lot of awesome things happening, but I will celebrate one thing. I closed off early bird for my Quantum Money Magic course, my first official energetics and manifestation course, and it went amazing, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for all the people who purchased and who are experiencing quantum leaps in their finances. So that's a big celebration I have.
Yeah.
I'll throw mine in the ring as well. This past week and a half took a massive risk in my business, and it led to me literally, I'll tell you guys off air what it is. Sorry, listeners, but like,
okay. I was like, I need to know.
I basically had this opportunity to cave or create something that normally takes 9 months in less than a week. And I did the less than a week option, and I'm fucking tired. I'm like barely seeing straight. However, I had to release so much perfectionism in doing that. And I am so grateful, whatever the outcome. I'm so grateful that I put my ego, I put my perfectionism at the door and just truly went whole in. And it turned out to the point where my coach literally responded and said, like, I have the most chills I've had all year. This is incredible. Ooh. And I'm like, this is draft 1, baby. So like, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited.
Yes.
My second question for you all is, how were you a perfectionist this week?
I think you should go first, Nicole.
Agree.
Me?
Yeah.
How was I a perfectionist this week? How was I a perfectionist this week? The super secret project that I'm telling you guys about off air, it took me 4 hours to film it. And the amount of takes, I cannot even tell you. And it finally got to the point where I hit that wall where I was like, you know what? It is whatever this next take is, and it's whatever. I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to do whatever. And of course, it was the best take, and it was the one I used. So the second I stopped putting pressure on myself, it's almost like everything worked.
That makes so much sense.
I need to take my own medicine sometimes. How about you guys? Wendy, how about you go?
Mine's more of a personal one, if that's okay. But
of course.
I am really big on my skincare. I like going to bed with makeup is a huge no-no for me. But one of these nights, I definitely went to bed with makeup and no skincare. But I had to release that perfectionism. I'm like, it's okay if it happens once in a blue moon. So that was the blue moon.
I also feel very obligated to say that you have the most flawless skin
glowing
of anyone I've ever met.
Your secrets, glowing. Wendy.
That should be a 5th presentation.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would watch and take notes.
Skincare glow up right there.
Right. How do we glow?
Oh my God. I'm so here for this. Empowered Entrepreneur 2. Personal glow ups. Sabrina, how about you next?
Oh yeah, this is a tough one because I was sick all week. And so how was I a perfectionist?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally didn't do anything.
I think that means you have to like release some perfectionism sometimes. Like
for sure. Yeah. I think, okay, this has to do with y'all a little bit too. I was just like totally fogged out for most of the week. And I was thinking I don't think I can post about the Empowered Entrepreneur because I can't even like put together something in my head right now. Yeah. And while we've gone through all the pain points that we went through and while we have all these things that we're going to be doing, I still couldn't even like pull something together. And so I just wasn't going to post anything about it. Cause I was like, man, I can't get there. I'm not going to do it. And then I forgot to tag y'all in this, but I was looking at our messages and about how supportive you guys were about like, you know, like me not going to the last call and just making sure I took care of myself and that like I was the number one most important thing to do. Like almost brought tears to my eye, and that's what I ended up posting. And I afterwards I was like, I wish I would have put their names on there so they could have seen it. I don't know if anyone saw it.
I saw it. I was like, well,
yeah, but it was just
like, I want to share this to my story.
But I didn't put anyone's name on it. So how did you? I don't know. I might have to redo it. But basically, like I posted a shot of our text messages and was like this is what we're bringing to the Empowered Entrepreneur. Like this level of care, consideration, understanding that you are what's going to make the difference in your business. And here are all the different ways that you can learn to make the difference in your business, but still always be coming from a place of like, how can we help you do this? And that you guys are like, no, like you just need to look out for you. We've got this for the week. And so, yeah, it was that perfectionism. We're like, I'm not going to post anything. And then just feeling into like why we're doing this and how that even is in our text message thread. That's what ended up coming out. And like, I don't know, we did get some signups for the wait list. So maybe it came through the care.
That wait list is bumping.
That wait list is a bum.
Amber, how about you?
Don't even take a photo. Perfectionism. How did it show up, or how?
Yeah, how are you a perfectionist this week?
Okay, I've been this is also personal, like Wendy. With business, I've also let go of a lot of perfectionists because I'm just kind of in the state of like, I just need to put this shit out there. Like, let's go and I'll fix it later. It's not a big deal. But with my health goals, actually, I've been obsessive with hitting my 10K steps and go to the gym every day and doing yoga and all these things. I've been like wilding out in the best ways. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But I think like one of the days I was like super busy and like, it was just back-to-back calls. And then it was like, my mom called me and I was like getting mad that my mom called me. I was like, oh, Mom, I have to go to the gym. I don't want to talk. And then, but I was like, for a second, I was like, okay, you don't need to go to the gym. I was like, this is more important. I was like, family is more important. And then I was like, that day I didn't. And then like my boyfriend wanted to hang out and all this stuff. I was like, all these people want my attention today. And I was like, at this point, I was like, and I kind of came up. I meant it in a very loving way. But
Amber's perfectionist. I was too important to everyone that week. God.
It was getting to me. And I was like, hey, my steps. I want to go for a walk. I want to do all these things. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, at the end of the day, yeah, the steps are great and all the gym is great. I was like, but what really lights me up and like is being with people I love and like talking to people I love. So I just kind of like let it go. And like, yes, there was parts of me that were annoyed, as you can tell. But I really just at the end of like I hit maybe like 3,000 steps that day. And I was kind of like, didn't go to the gym. And I was like, oh, that was like not ideal. But I was also like, it's okay. Like there's more important things in life than hitting your steps and going to the gym and blah, 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 blah. So that was my perfectionist.
I low-key feel better about myself that you are a perfectionist in some ways, because I know that you just like put stuff out there and you're like, yes, always moving forward. But the fact that you're just like, oh, I didn't hit my sets, a little bit makes me feel better.
Yeah. Legit with business, zero perfectionism. But with my steps, I'm like,
my steps?
I gotta get my steps in, girl.
Like I talk about that so much on the podcast, where it's like one area of our life we can be just like 0% perfectionism. It is whatever, shit hits the fan. But in another area, we're like
yeah,
it's
I'm like a
monster.
Like, I am. It's a problem.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it kind of like blends all over. So I'm really excited about what you have to say, Nicole. I'm super excited about
I know, me too.
Because it's pretty intriguing that you can be a perfectionist in one area and not in another. Why is that?
And I'll go ahead and tell you, everyone at the beginning of their business is a fucking perfectionist and they might not know it. So get ready, sweet friends.
I'm almost at my 10,000 steps. If you guys just want to know.
I was waiting on
if you were wondering.
She's been walking this whole time, the whole podcast.
I'm walking.
She has a treadmill desk under there. You didn't know.
I'm literally going to buy a treadmill desk.
Get out, girl.
Of course you are.
Get on the wait list if you want to find out if the treadmill comes to fruition. Get on the wait list. If you're going to wait for anything.
It's the treadmill desk.
Oh my God. I'm dying. Okay. Last but not least, what is everyone presenting on in the Empowered Entrepreneur? I'll kick it off. While we're all kind of concocting our little titles here. Mm-hmm. I'm posting. Let's try that again. I am presenting on how to enhance your mindset and productivity for maximum confidence.
Ooh.
We'll do choose your own adventure. You guys can go whenever you're ready. I'm done playing teacher.
All right, I'm going to be talking about email marketing and how to be able to take those followers, turn them into leads that then grow your email, then grow your list, and be able to convert them behind the scenes too. So all about email marketing here.
I'm so excited for your presentation, Wendy.
Wendy, can you share that stat that you dropped in the Instagram Live yesterday?
Of course. So, fun fact for everyone, all my business owners out there, for every $1 that you spend with your email marketing, you see an ROI of $36.
Ooh.
How crazy is that?
That's wild to me.
Oof. So good.
Email is king. Queen.
Queen. Sovereignty, energy. I'm going to be presenting, so it's Amber here. I'm going to be presenting about sales and money magic. I will be specifically talking about 5 main areas when it comes to sales, how to get people on sales calls rituals, the valued method, which is going to help you close more sales calls, how to deal with objections, those I can't afford it, or I'll just join next time, how to deal with it in such confidence and without feeling like pushy or icky, and really feeling integrity with what you're saying. And of course, the magic of follow-ups and how to really get a lot more get a lot more closing rates through the follow-ups.
I'm so glad you're talking about follow-ups, because the amount of clients that I'm like, yeah, reach out, and a few days later, I'm like, okay, did you follow up? And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. Yes.
The magic of follow-ups. I feel like people are really afraid of follow-ups for some reason. Like, I don't want to bother anyone. It's like
the amount of times
show you how to follow up with these.
That I'll get like a podcast pitch or something like that, and I just don't respond. And then a few days later, they follow up with me, and I'm like, oh, thank you for bumping this up to my inbox. I do really want to talk to you. Like, It is not a burden. In fact, it is actually doing them a flavor. Period.
Yeah.
Flavor.
Guys, it is 4:00 on a Friday. I am checked out.
We're like, where's the wine? Where's my wine? That's where I'm looking. Where's my wine?
Dragon. I'm about to just go out. Sabrina, take us home before I lose my mind.
I love flavor. First of all, I am going to put in here that one time a friend said appetizer instead of appetizer, and now that's all I say.
I
get
love
some appetizers. I want some appetizers. Meow.
Like it.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to be talking about systems. Go figure, right? I'm going to be talking about systems, and there's actually lots of different types of systems. There's systems for marketing, there's systems for operations. I'm going to be talking about your operations, your client management. So this is everything from like lead acquisition, how the systems for following up, you're onboarding your clients, the touch points in between, and offboarding. A lot of people don't consider offboarding as part of the service that they have with their clients. So specifically for this, I'm going to be talking about essential systems that you need at the beginning. I'm going to be talking about some common misconceptions. I'm going to be talking about the benefits of systems, obviously, and then I'm going to give you my 4F framework for scalable systems. This is like the specific framework. I work with all sorts of clients, right? I'm talking about like relatively newbies and like 6-figure service providers and coaches. And I walk all of them through my 4F framework for building out a scalable system.
So excited. People,
I'm like listening to.
I'm so excited for everyone.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
Like no bullshit. Okay.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Oh, yours.
Oh, did I already say mine?
Oh, did you say yours?
The how to enhance your confidence, or let me try that again. Blah, blah, blah. How to enhance your mindset and productivity for maximum confidence. Yeah, we've talked a lot.
You did say it. You did say it.
No, I didn't expand on it, so I'll do a quick
you
expansion.
said the title. Yeah.
I mentioned this earlier, but so often we think mindset is just like hoodoo. I'll do it after my strategy, but there is so much science behind how if your mindset and your belief systems are set up with I'm not enough, I suck, no one wants to buy from me. If I'm not stressed, then I'm not making moves towards my goals. I hear that one a lot with new business owners. If your mindset and your belief systems are set up for just poo-poo feelings, you can take the best strategy in the world, and that internal blueprint will self-sabotage you faster than you can say anything in the world. So mindset is such a foundational key. And I know the 4 of us have all talked about like mindset has been such a huge part of our journey.
Oh, absolutely.
But people think like it's just write an affirmation, say it over again, think happy thoughts. It's not. It is so much more strategical than that. And so I'll be going over really strategical. I'll be going over some major strategy of how to enhance your mindset, a little bit of brain science, but we'll make it fun. But then also how to create that into productivity. When we're in a new part of a business, we are focusing on the stuff that does not matter. We're focusing on the stuff that feels comfortable. We're focusing on the stuff that's like, oh, I'm busy. So that means I'm doing things, right?
So good.
And that is not setting you up for the freedom that you want in your business. It's also not going to help you scale your business. Go for it,
I have
Sabrina.
a question. Are you going to tell us what doesn't matter in the beginning?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I want to know.
So much. I'm going to go over a principle that I preach by. I have clients who are just starting their business. I have clients who are multi-million-dollar business owners. They are still living in that stuff that doesn't matter. And they're wondering why they're not able to scale their business even further. So it doesn't matter what level you're at, you're probably doing these mistakes. We're going to talk about not only what the mistakes are. I'm not just going to be like, poo on you, bad business owner. We're going to be talking about what's the flip side. How do you know what the difference is? How can you I'm a treat as a speaker, guys. But we're going to be talking about what are those things that move you forward, that not only launch, like that not only launch you forward in your business, but even in our tagline, it's become in demand. And if you're focusing on those shit that doesn't matter, you will not be an in-demand business. You got to focus on the stuff that does. And you have to have the confidence behind that. Like if you don't, you're again, like it's just going to self-sabotage left and right. So those things are what I'm going to be talking about. Everyone drop your handles real quick. Where can people find you? Wendy.
You can find me on all socials with @lovinglybold.
Beautiful. Amber.
Sorry. Excuse me. Amber Alexis International.
Sabrina.
Sabrina_Aveyan. It looks like Avalon, Avellan, but it's pronounced Aveyan, like you're.
And we'll have all those links in the show notes as well. I'm at Life Coach Baker across everything. You guys know that by now. We need to go. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. This was a blast.
I have so much fun with you guys. It's always a good time. And you guys are going to be part of the party when you join us at the Empowered Entrepreneur. The same energy we bring to every single call and every single meeting, like whether it's on camera or off, like we're so excited to have you part of our energy too.
I think we laugh just as much when we're also in planning sessions. So I think you're very accurate. I hope you all feel the energy these people bring to the table. I have lived in it for the past few months, and I know I am a better person because of it. And I know that when you attend a live event, virtual or in person, you get a piece of their energy. And it does not just like float in one ear and out the other. It sticks with you. Every single time I've been to a live event, I've come out a different person. And I don't say that melodramatically. I say that very literally. And I know you guys can have that too. So if you are a new or even an intermediate business owner and you are ready to take these tools and get yourself to the next level, not just strategically, it is an emotional next level that brings a level of confidence and clarity that I cannot start to explain in a podcast. It's a life-changing thing. And I'm getting choked up and teary-eyed because it really does come with getting this knowledge. And it does come with not having to figure it out on your own. I tried that. It doesn't work. You got to get that information from someone else who knows it, who breathes it, who teaches it, who helps others with it. And it cuts out years, hours, days, stress, headaches out of your life. And we're all so unbelievably passionate about this. And I hope you all join us. So I'm going to repeat it one more time because I know we said it a few times in the episode, but if you want to join us for the waitlist and get the waitlist pricing, go to the link in the show notes or go to any of our social media feeds. It is the first thing that is the URL link. We're really passionate. I know I keep saying that, but because it's so true, we love helping people reach those next levels. And we've attended so many like live summits, more like live summits that have been like all these fluff, follow your dreams, go get them, tiger. And it just doesn't give you any tactics. And we all were like, that was like one of the first decisions we made. We were like, it's going to be tactical wazoo, right? We want people to know exactly what to do. And that is exactly what we're bringing to the table. So if you want to get that waitlist pricing, it is 50% off general admission and $200 off VIP. By the way, for the VIP, you get wazoo amount of time with each of us individually. You get a course from Wendy, you get a private session with Sabrina, you get a private session with Amber, and you get a private session from me as well. And just a bunch of other things. It's all on the link. So if you go to the link in the show notes or click any of the links in our bios on social media, you will be able to find it right then and there. But I love you guys so much. I'm appreciative beyond the moon. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Life Coach Baker podcast. Don't forget to go take the free quiz and find out what perfectionist type you are by visiting the link in the show notes or by going to lifecoachbaker.com/quiz. Also, take a moment to rate the podcast and write a review. It is the best way to get the word out there. Plus, you'll get the chance of having your review read on the show. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.